Hey, Gabriel here with the Icon Capture Jeeves Intelligence Brief for August 6th, 2026. All right, procurement portfolio managers, we need to talk because this is one of those boards where if you only look at the opportunity count, you are going to misread the market. Here's what I want to do with you today. I want to walk through the new opportunity flow, the legislative and executive movement, the regulatory and court signals, and then bottom line what this means if you're actually managing a portfolio right now and trying to decide where to lean in, where to stay patient, and where you may be kidding yourself. Before we start, this is the last brief before this terrain window narrows. 2 seats left in the GPS Terrain Movement Review. Terrain update, 0 new opportunities. Who moved and who didn't? That signal is what opened this session, and it will not repeat the same way tomorrow. The question is no longer what you could chase. It is what is still reachable before this window closes and what needs to start now for the 12 to 18-month board. Code GPS26W1 at the-icon.ai/capture. Now, let's read the board. So let's get right to the facts. Over the last 168 hours, GPS surfaced. 0 new opportunities posted on SAM.gov. 0 federal hiring signals across 0 agencies. And all of that is happening while market BCL is 0%, with 0 agencies stalled under the continuing resolution. Let's dive into the primary signal here, or rather the lack thereof. Over the past 168 hours, the opportunity flow has flatlined, with not a single new chance to capture. It's rare to see a BCL, bid, capture and lose percentage, that is effectively 0. The capture ticker confirms that there's nothing moving on the board, not even a whisper. This absence of volume could suggest a strategic pause, possibly due to the CR, continuing resolution drag, affecting federal spending cycles. If you're managing this book, you're likely feeling the pinch of accessibility issues, as the raw volume isn't translating into actionable leads. The top opportunities list is barren, which may seem daunting, but there's a silver lining. This could be an ideal time for portfolio managers to recalibrate and strategize. With the capture terminal, you're not just seeing what's missing, but also where the gaps are that could open up soon. Think of it as a tactical advantage. Knowing when to hold back can be just as crucial as knowing when to dive in. The silence on the board is telling us that patience and vigilance are the watchwords right now. Without legislative or executive actions to stir the pot, the terrain feels static. However, this isn't necessarily negative. It allows for a moment of analysis, an opportunity to reassess and perhaps find those niches that others might overlook when the volume returns. Managers who read this tape know that the current stillness often precedes a wave of activity, making it crucial to stay alert and ready to pivot when the time comes. Let's shift focus to the secondary signals, where things get a bit more nuanced. With terrain holes standing at 0, there's no unexpected instability in the environment right now. However, the lack of hiring across agencies suggests a broader market hesitation. This absence of activity might initially seem like a void, but it actually presents a unique opportunity to scout for undervalued positions in your procurement portfolio. Court opinions and lobbying clusters are also at a standstill, indicating a market that's possibly waiting for a trigger. This kind of stillness can often lead to market mispricing, where the true value of certain opportunities isn't immediately appreciated. For savvy managers, this is where smart moves are born. Identifying sectors that are underrepresented or overlooked could be your ticket to outpacing the competition when the market inevitably corrects itself. The combination of these dormant signals means that, while the surface appears calm, there's much to be gained from looking deeper. Procurement portfolio managers should use this time to fine-tune their strategy, focusing on sectors where they can leverage their expertise to anticipate the market's next moves. It's a classic case of the early bird catching the worm. Those who prepare now will be primed to seize opportunities as soon as the board changes. The current market for procurement portfolio managers is characterized by a static landscape with no apparent opportunities or movement, demanding a tactical and disciplined approach. Are you effectively balancing portfolio discipline with the need to identify emerging pipeline opportunities? How are you recalibrating your portfolio strategy in response to zero volume and stalled agency engagements? What mechanisms are you employing to detect and adapt to subtle shifts in macro terrain dynamics? In this environment, maintaining a vigilant focus on strategic alignment and readiness to pivot swiftly is paramount to ensuring long-term portfolio resilience and success. Last thing before I sign off, and I want to be direct. 2 seats left in the GPS terrain movement review. When this window closes, the terrain that justified it moves on. Tomorrow's signal will be different. The next session will read a different board. If the brief we just walked through gave you a reason to act, now is the time. Code GPS26W1. communities.theicon.ai/capture the-govcon-elite. 0.0 million records. 4 verticals ready. Provenance traced from bill to award. Like and subscribe if you're managing a federal grant, research, GovCon, or commercial portfolio. I drop a new GPS brief every weekday. All links, terminal preview, Shipley sessions, live cohort calendar, and the full brief are at communities.theicon.ai/capture/the-govcon-elite. Register free and it's all there. This is Gabriel. I'll see you tomorrow. Just a quick note. You'll be disconnected in 5 seconds due to inactivity. Please say something if you'd like to continue our conversation.